No, I think we don't gotta talk about the budget. When there's nothing going on.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
But I had something on my phone tomorrow. Zoom. Oh, forgot to put the time. Something in June.
I gotta be somewhere tomorrow at noon.
Jamie called me, like, so my calendar popped up. Are we having a meeting right now? Nope. Jack and I have not discussed anything and he didn't send anything out.
I would like to eventually turn that whole setting the agenda and all that stuff over to JB. I mean, he's the chairman of the board.
Or just you and me for that matter, or just to set the meeting, yeah.
Well, because I don't really know what anybody might want on the agenda, and then you can take mine, actually.
Maybe add it to the calendars.
It's on the calendar.
On the city calendar?
It should be if it's not. I was under the impression it was, but.
Fire authority, airport authority, and sewer authority usually don't show up.
Anyway, we're gonna meet next week.
I'll check. Same thing. Maybe it's
Put together for their budget. Send it out to you guys to review, whatever. Pretty much everything. I got a couple of issues with the ladder truck. Aside from me getting my damn reports. All right, everybody, it's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. All rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very much. Okay, call the roll.
Yeah. Matt Bulgara. I'm here. Al Banka. Here. John Cox. Here. Nancy Rondell.
Here.
And John Leo.
Yeah.
We do have a quorum.
Excellent. All right, anyone here for citizens' comment tonight? Yes, young lady, state your name and your address for the record, please.
Nancy Zucker. I live at 2805 Berry Patch Lane in Alanson. I'm with the Harbor Springs Garden Club. And I'm president of the Harbor Springs Garden Club. And we're here, I'm hoping this is the time I'm supposed to speak. I'm not sure. I haven't been to a meeting.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. The Garden Club, we have an identity crisis, as you know. And the city, members of the community, visitors, anybody that comes here thinks that you're welcome. And I apologize to those else that I didn't know how many I need. Members of nearly everyone that comes in thinks that the city funds the Harbor Springs Garden Club. And we're a 501c3 organization. No one funds us, only private organizations, charitable groups, grants, and private businesses. And what I just like to bring a few points to your attention, because this is a lot of things that people just flat out don't know. Our garden club plants 3,000 flowers each year in the spring. That's about 45 members that are active within 14 gardens here in the city now. There's about 90 some members, but 45 are active. So we have it's a lot of people spread out taking care of 14 weeks worth of time. And that equates to about 1,400 hours we put in over that 14 weeks. And that honestly equates to, at $25 an hour, $35,000 that we contribute to the city of Harbor Springs each year. We just got done planting 83 mums this fall. And I don't know if you're aware that we spend close to $7,000 a year on flowers. What some of the figures there are our actual flower bills. We just put in that figures do not include what the mums were 1,600 to 1,800 that we just put in. We go through Christians, we support the local flower company. And we're humbly here tonight to ask you for a $4,000 donation. So it's up to you all. I gotta aim high. But it's a huge thing. We've been around since 1976. This is our 45th year that the Garden Club has been in existence. And we get downright dirty and our nails are not pretty and we really work quite hard at it. And we're gearing ourselves more toward perennials. We're trying to get away from the annuals so that it's more sustainable. And we're just trying to continue the image that Harbor Springs has as this lovely little, garden community. And that's what people come here. I survey individuals down at the gardens. They come from Charlevoix, Boyne City, they come from Gaylord, they come from everywhere, and that doesn't even include the individuals that are from out of state, out of town. But local people within the area come to view our flowers. So that's the Garden Club. We only had $5,200 in donations this year. We're down about $1,700. And we've got new plans for next year, but if we could please have a donation this year, that would be lovely. Thank you. Do y'all have any questions for me? Okay.
How do you keep your moms from dying?
The thing, I won't water, but if the greenhouse has them, and if the bloom is forced open too soon, that's what's causing them, just to like flip down. That's all controlled in the greenhouse, but overall, mums are pretty hardy. Most of them will come back, water them, but in the spring when they come up, if you can remember where you put them, that's always key. You pinch them back all the time. Our organization has 12 master gardeners in the group as well. So you've got a lot of resources to draw upon, a lot of smart people, but keep pinching them back and they'll come back next year.
Right, thank you.
Okay?
You guys do a
Can I ask
great
a
job.
question?
Yes.
You do a great job.
Nancy, is that to support the existing gardens in Harbor Springs, or are you starting to think maybe about helping with Marina Park and the tree bases downtown?
That is to support the current gardens we have right now. But the Garden Club has done the downtown under the trees. For many years, they tried it, but nothing would grow. There's no water there. It's only a drip line for the trees. So we had the same problem that the kids had this year, keeping the things alive. And based on the number of volunteers that we have, we could not, we didn't have the people to support it. And in regard to Marina Park, we just had a general membership meeting after the mum planting. And I posed it to the group, and regarding Marina Park, we just don't have enough volunteers to go around. We're working on membership drive. We now have we're gonna have an active website. Chamber of Commerce has been updated. We have a publicity chairperson now. Things are gonna be moving along. So we're hoping to draw more people in and get more gardeners, because that's what we need, volunteers. Thank you.
Fantastic, Elise. Have we donated anything to the?
We did some discussion in here and we have, but not nearly apparently what we should have been. I don't think a lot of city staff or council even were aware how much money was being spent and where it was coming from.
I had no idea.
So I personally think it's a major positive for our town. I mean, they got a lot of gardens and they're beautiful, so.
And we're headed into budget season.
I was just gonna
so
say, now's the time, because we're
Kinda
going to
timely.
budget to look, yeah.
We'll definitely take it under consideration when we do our budgeting
Thank
Which is right around the corner, so.
next month.
You guys do a great job.
Yeah, you really do a fantastic job.
You've got a group of women that absolutely love it and are totally devoted to it, and they guard it fiercely.
I'll tell you how
Don't go
that.
pick the flowers out of the garden.
Yeah.
Now, just a sidebar, is this something that you would maybe be looking for as an ongoing annual type thing?
Yes, please.
Just so we know when we go to our budget season, where we're at and where we're going. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else for citizens comment tonight? Once, twice, thrice. Guess we're done with that. On to the consent agenda. Discussion. Dismissals.
I read through the minutes and the others make sense to me, so I would make a motion to approve.
And that does include the skate
The
park.
skate park signage. Yes.
Okay. Motion by Leo.
Any public comment before we?
Okay, roll call. Nancy Rondell,
Yes.
John Cops, John Leo,
Yes.
Al Dyke,
Yes.
and Matt Bogira.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Our big topic tonight.
Discussion items. The November 1 council meeting is purely a request from my staff and I. As you know, that we have up and running, ready, open to polls by 7 a.m. the following morning. And I believe last year and the year before, we were able to come up with an earlier time in the day to have a council meeting, so that in the evenings, basically, so I'm not here till midnight. So if there's any time that we can come up with, even an hour or two earlier in the day would be beneficial to me.
Will we watch that? Got that.
Anytime is good for me.
Anytime works for me. Anytime at all.
Noon.
10 a.m.
10. I'm down with 10. Yeah, it's up to you guys.
People are thinking about it now.
Oh, okay. 11.
It really makes no difference to me.
Yeah, it doesn't
No.
matter. What time's good for
Well, it's
you?
good for you, Nick. I mean, if we got out of here by noon, would that be
Oh,
helpful?
gosh, yes. Even 2, 3 o'clock is plenty for me. I mean,
Then I'll stay on board.
Noon.
Noon?
noon it is. No objections, noon it is. Wonderful. I'll get the calendars changed and post a notice.
Thanks for reminding us there's an election.
All right. That is actually all we have on the discussion items, so. City manager's report, which Victor has done up prior to his departure for his vacation. The Bowles well water main replacement is finally completed. They had, as we know, some trouble boring down the hill there. So traffic flow should be back to normal. I just took a drive today. All the moorings are out. There's nothing on the water at this point. Kind of neat sight. Restrooms closed for the season on October 18th, which is today, out at Ford Park in the City Beach. And then Kyle is hosting his annual trick or treating on October 31st from 5:30 to 7:30. And water reservoir tanks, they have an annual or biannual inspection, and they have all passed. Other than that, that's really all we have for information tonight.
Okay.
Next on the agenda is commissions. Planning Commission, we have need an appointment of a planning commission member.
Yeah, we have some good candidates, and we're gonna go with Vanessa Warren. The most interested. Signing her up in the next week, get her going to the meetings. It's a good experience. Local.
Sounds good.
I think we have Thursday, this Thursday. Yeah.
You will have contact with her? Or do you want us to reach out? Because then I can get her here and have her sworn in by Thursday. She might as well hit the ground running.
There you go. Why don't you call her
Okay.
and set up a date to swear her in?
That's all that I have, where the city side has. Anything from you guys doing old business?
I would like to ask that at the next meeting or at a future meeting that we hear from the DPW about the safety of the boardwalk. I listened to the recording of the planning commission and this, no, the DDA. There's quite a bit of concern about the boardwalk, with one comment being that it was actually people who walked it were at risk of death. Once that's out in the public, I think we kind of owe it to the residents to get a reading on whether it's really safe or not.
Should we get Lucas down here to fill us in on that?
If he's the right person to do it, but I think he should have warning prior to the meeting so he can walk it,
Right.
analyze it, photograph it, whatever he needs to do, and come back with a determination whether it's safe or not. Something more official than the feeling of people that walk it, whether it is or it isn't.
Say,
I just have one question, whether it might be appropriate to have a structural engineer look at it, somebody that actually is qualified to say is the structure good.
so Benchmark looked at it a couple years ago, and I know Lucas monitors it on a yearly basis, but I can discuss
I'm not
that.
sure, is Benchmark structural, though I think they're more civil engineers, I think.
Yeah, but I think they measure if it's moving or.
I think that might be a good idea after we hear from Lucas. I wouldn't jump into that right off the bat.
Say the signs now that say it's slippery when wet, or did I, whoever did that, Rachel, I'm assuming that was you.
Yeah.
Lucas did.
I think Lucas would be a good starting point, yes.
Okay, good call. John, nothing?
Nothing.
Well,
Tonight.
anything else from the citizenship?
Halloween parade, Friday, the 29th at 1 o'clock. We'll block off parking downtown as well.
Cool.
What time, Kyle? I think it's Friday, whatever Friday is.
Yeah, the 29th.
All right,
That's pretty cool.
there's nothing else. I'd like to adjourn this meeting.
Is that your record? Good job. Good job. You got a long way to go.
Maybe that's where the next
You give them a lot of water.
Well, I can have two. I mean, it's been so wet.